Help me, Rhonda. Help me, Rhonda. Help me, Rhonda. Help me, Meister. Get her out of my car. Alright, so anyways, these are my favorite tools. I want to show you my favorite tools. This is favorite tool. This is tool time. This is tool time. This is my favorite tool time. I'm going to show you my favorite tools. This is my favorite little guy here. You could get all sorts of things out of nooks and crannies. Very gyno. And then we have the dildo light. You would be surprised, this little dildo light thing. This thing is great. This thing is Sandler great. You can get this little thing into all sorts of little nooks and crannies here, wedged into little Automeister nooks and crannies. And then this one is cool too. Look at this. You can like bend it all different directions. All right, isn't that fun? Isn't that great? Isn't that interesting? Okay, so we have to do a do-over here. The VVT solenoid I bought is dripping everywhere. It's dripping all over the goddamn place. My pens are leaking. So it's dripping. It's drippy. If you're interested, especially the hot, gorgeous chicks that want billionaire men who prissy up in makeup and cruise around with Prada purses, I know you're all interested in this. The VVT solenoid here was doing a drippy. I don't know if it was past the O-ring. It was a defective. You know, I bought a cheap $19 Amazon unknown O-ring. Either the O-ring seal in there was leaking on the underside, or it actually kind of looks like this area here might have been leaking, and it was doing the drippy all the way down to the oil pan and doing drippies down there. So once again, we had to pull off this power steering Vato over here. Oh, let's zoom out. Over here, isn't this exciting? I know the hot chicks totally dig this shit. All right, in between shopping at the mall. And pulling the belt, obviously, it's a pretty simple jobber here, especially for people who do it for a living. I obviously don't do it for a living, and I wouldn't have made a professional choice to do it for a living. I might have done something more like Nelson Racing, where he's being innovative about building 2,000, 4,000 horsepower engines, custom engines, and, you know, building them off all the different designs and twin turbo designs and supercharged designs and whatever. And it's more of a, and I'm not saying I would have went that direction in life or not. I'm just saying I never had a chance to do anything, right? I came out of college, being stocked in college, didn't even know I was being hunted to be exterminated by almost every human contact and professors. Like Naughty Carrie, one of my professors, right? Sculpting professor, and Nick, my photography professor, with Chad Bowers, and Jason's friends, Mike Wexler, and, you know, my astronomy classes, you know, the goth Kelly Hatch wannabe lookalike that moved above me, and with her roommate, leaving the keys in the car, trying to mimic a lie Kelly Hatch made up about me at Southern Oregon State College, right? Drove her car down to Shakespeare Festival or something, left the keys in the car, said someone stole her car and left the keys in her car or something. I don't know. She's just, but then all of a sudden people are hunting you and stalking you with Kelly Hatch, right? As if, but remember, nothing's actually directly said, right? Now, what was Mike Huntley said? World of Paranoia in 2001, finding out world of sleep. Nothing's directly said to you because it's about creating paranoia to flip you out, to try to make you look crazy, to lock you away. But the real question is why, right? Okay, so that being said, that exciting thing being said that the world already knows and must cover up, since a very young age. It's called a hobby. It's called, and remember, that means I'm a schizophrenic and need to be removed from society, because if I don't pay some guy to do a 40-minute job, $100,000, then I'm a schizophrenic that needs to be removed from society, who thinks he's a mechanic for buying a $25 VVT solenoid and popping it in 40 minutes, right? So Occam's razor says that the simplest answer is most likely the right answer, and something like that. And the most common sense answer here is that Kevin is saving money by just doing himself and getting a little exercise, which nobody's going to normally care about unless something highly illegal is going on, right? And to try to stop someone from fixing a car for $25 by trying to charge him $2,000 with all their buddies while collecting private information illegally with mass group conspiracies is the real problem, not well, you're schizophrenic for fixing a stupid little thing on your car, right? Now, by the time you go and want to do something serious where you actually need a real mechanic, because I don't do this for a living. I don't really have hydraulic lifts, full lifts, and make my life really easy, especially at my age. I mean, at 16, I was on the pulling engines underneath cars at 3 a.m. and I didn't care, right? But I'm 54 here, and shit's got a lot more complex than 1988 too. But that being said, alrighty then. So I'm gonna end it here. I hope you like my tools. They're very exciting. This is very exciting to me. And I hope you learned something, even though the more truth you learn, the angrier you get on something that is so unheard of and sick and demented that it would be easier to kill me than harbor the guilt of what has been done to my life worldwide, especially with the police, that they would much rather have me dead and gone to deal with the crimes against me for 50 years, right? So obviously when I'm posting about cyanidgetang from 1996, well, Kevin, that was the past. Yeah, except the pattern reoccurs daily for 54 years, no matter who I interact with, and that's not heard of. That's unheard of, and it is impossible to happen coincidentally, meaning that if you've met 10,000 people, and 10,000 people have tried to make you look like a violent, paranoid schizophrenic, steal your money and lock you away, well, that's not a coincidence. That's a campaign, okay, to execute and eradicate. So when I'm cruising around every day and people are like, I know you, I don't know you, who is this guy? Who is this guy with the truck? Well, you know who I am. You just can't deal with what you're involved in. So don't put on the act. Be a man. Kevin, this is what we were told. Be a fucking man. Be an adult. Be a woman. Be a man. Grow some fucking balls. Grow some pussy lips. I don't know. Fucking grow the fuck up. Past 5 years old. And grow some maturity. Or I guess I have to match it out of isolation and boredom, right? Alright, so that's the fucking point here. The LAPD and the judicial system and the Perlman family have a problem with the truth coming out with these worldwide groups involved, okay? Whether it's cyanidgetang or Tatiana Dobkins. I'm thinking some of the Colorado girls, even though that was like 30 years ago, it's still the black girl, waitress at the sink, cry wolf tactics, hi, how are you today? Oh, you threatened my life. Everyone kill him. He hates black people, right? Okay, the lookalikes, the goth girl, Well, there's a high IRC internet-related chat groups. Now, these, oh, Stephanie Schuyler, right? How did people know about Schuyler worldwide? I mean, just some stupid redhead that came from Florida. But why did she come from Florida on internet-related chat into Colorado channel? Because she was working with Jason Perlman with the whole redhead tactic, right? Okay, so and then there's things about Kevin's redheads and not, you know, who knows? Because these tags, the gay guy, right? The gay guy didn't stick my dick in, so I'm being hunted by gay communities with Starbucks and coffee shops for simply not sticking my dick in a gay guy that my roommates brought home, as if I did something to him, right? And remember, the timelines are important, because if that was 30 years ago and some 25-year-old is going like, you're a homophobic, you're like, there's been no events with gay people other than me not having sex with one, right? That's the only, just like the black community and the Worldwide No Relaxing for You Nigger campaign, the only event, the only racial, partially fragmented racial event is simply an 8-year-old kissing a black girl. Nothing else, nothing actually happened, but the Perlman family bringing in the band Devo, saying Kevin conforms to media and hates black people after I kissed her, right? Is that what's on the news? Is that what's on CNN every day in repetition for 50 years? And how is the world getting this disinformation? Well, that's not possible, especially with the internet. It can't happen. Yet, neighborhoods every day go on websites, and all the lonely, empty-hold bullies go on these neighborhood websites to report anything out of the norm with the watch commanders, the neighborhood watch groups, and they sit in their cars all night and watch every imperfection. They go on the websites and input data into community databases, saying this person now did this person now did that. And if they don't like you and they're Karens and Kyles, then they just say what they need to say to try to get rid of you. Like this Yuka girl, right? Now, she was Asian, and what was Yuka mad about? She was mad about me buying a Pearl Harbor movie poster. Okay, she was mad about two things. I've never met Yuka. I don't even know who the fuck she is, but she was mad about two things. The 1996 computer imaging art in Jim Johnson's class, imaging professor in Jim Johnson's class, the Mike Tyson fighting Chun-Li. How does she have the private artwork from 1998? No, 96. So these are the more important questions. It's not the artwork. Nobody cares about the artwork. If you go on the fucking internet, there's 100,000 billion Chun-Li pictures. Nobody fucking cares. Well, you stole the character from the game. Yeah, I mean, we went through that in the 2000s, right? Like, you're a thief. You stole the game character, or you did a save as on an image in Google. You stole the image. Well, that's not stealing image, and technically you're downloading it in the web browser to your temp folder before you even click save as. Okay, so how do you want to justify killing people? Well, see, he's a criminal, so I'm going to torture him and kill him and steal all his money because he clicked the save as button in his browser, which is already in his temp directory. But in the end, killing is a crime, okay? Cold-blooded first-degree murder is a crime, however you want to justify it, okay? What, the Perlman family didn't tell you this when they said I'm a horrible monster and need to die? Okay, because anyone who wants to kill someone is going to justify it in their own way, however they see fit, right? You know what? You make more money than me, you know, you're a criminal, so I have the right to kill you. I don't know where you got those pretty shoes, I have the right to kill you, right? I think you're schizophrenic because you bought a pair of Jungle Boots in 1991. I'm going to hunt you and kill you because you're schizophrenic for buying Jungle Boots. But wait, that was in a different state 40 years ago. And how would you even have that information unless something highly illegal is going on with Eric Christensen and San Diego Police Department and Jason Perlman? And now the topic here is not about Jungle Boots. The topic is, why does that person not have the freedom to make a simple purchase without being hunted to be killed by worldwide groups, and his privacy being violated in such methods It is completely unacceptable that he's going to be hunted to be killed no matter what, because he doesn't have the ability to say, look, I don't know what your problem is, but you're wrong, and go live your own life. And when someone, whether it's a family member or worldwide child rapist armies, can't stop stalking you or obsessing on you, violating your privacy and trying to get dirt to use against you, it's called stalking. And when Alexis Amore starts babbling, you're a stalker, she's trying to cover up what she's involved in with Tim Thompson and Mike Huntley and Rhodey Morales, and then trying to push me into a situation where I'm forced to come forwards because she won't say, look, we did this, we fucked up, we were wrong, okay? We didn't have the right to fucking do this to this guy's life, okay? And what does that have to do with cars? And how is it that women are now cars? Cars are women, and women are cars, and Kevin's a schizophrenic. And every time I do something with a car, make a joke about a car, it's about women, and then really freaky things happen where I end up in jail. And if you sell your car, you're selling women. You're a pimp. And ha ha ha, you get the joke, but once you cross the line of destroying lives and putting illegal charge or dirtying up someone's record and putting misdemeanors and felonies on people's records because of this joke while it's trying to steal all their money and stop them from breathing, it's not a joke, okay? It's no longer a joke. These aren't jokes, okay? These are, how do we kill people while laughing? And because we're laughing while bashing his skull in with a lead pipe, it's a joke. It's a tease. And who is behind the entire thing is Ron Perlman going, people are just teasing you. While he's hunting me to have me killed. While he has his entire office for 10 years straight trying to bash my skull in and kill me and lock me away with paying off Charles Sean Dempsey. That doesn't sound like a joke to me. If I show up and I chop off your arms and legs and laugh, is it a joke? Okay, so it's not a joke, right? So everyone worldwide knows it's not a joke. So what are they trying to cover up? And they're all taking money on top. They're all making profit on top. But it's not really about money. It's about killing. And the money is just a perk. Okay? I decided to work at IBM, and they give me a couple free trips to Bahamas every year. It's a perk. I get good benefits while hunting to kill, okay? But the priority here is to make someone disappear because he knows too much about what was started when he was 5 years old with the police and government. And when I go out every day and watch people pretend they don't know who I am while trying to create newer curveballs for each and everything, all the way down to 5 years old, a cover up over 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 cover up. They know exactly what every single person is involved in, especially when mass mobs show up with the car tactics and the clothing color tactics and the verbal harassments and the mimics and the mockings and the privacy violations and whether there's GPS tracking involved, whether there's, hey, there's Kevin Perlman, notify everyone, notify 10,000 people per hour in each city he's at, okay? I mean, these aren't normal situations. And LAPD's behind it with the illegal police monitoring starting at a very young child. And we even have those police death threats on video on YouTube. We're watching you, Perlman, reinforcing what they are and have been doing since I was a child. And hey, professor, watch this guy. We think he might be crazy. Ask him questions, interrogate him. Wait, I'm trying to get a fucking college education so I can go out and work and make money. And why do I need to pay this college this much money so they can interrogate me and trying to throw some kind of mental illness label on me? Is that the professor's job? Is that the restaurant owner's job? Is that the coffee shop's job, is to try to question someone, and at the moment that, hi, thank you for the coffee. Oh, see, he said thank you. He's crazy. Hi, how are you? How's it going? Oh, he said, how's it going? He's crazy. He threatened my life. Well, these aren't coming from psychiatrists who know me for 5 years straight and have gone through my entire life and peel the onion here and see what this person's about. The labels supersede any aspect of communication before ever walking up to any stranger worldwide. So the label is already there, also called poisoning the well. I could, right now, I could hop in a plane, I could fly to Washington, D.C., I could fly to Tennessee, just like the road trip, all across the U.S., 4,000 miles. I could, every hotel person, every restaurant, everyone knew me, okay? People see me, walk by, whistle, okay, buddy, 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 every auto shop all across the U.S. Okay, you know, we're gonna destroy his cars. Okay, so I could fly to freaking Alabama, I could fly to Tennessee, I could fly to Wisconsin. I will be harassed by the TSA, by the people on the plane sitting next to me, by the stewardesses. This time, Chasey Lane, before the internet, won't need to be bought a ticket to sit next to me in first class, trying to play victim. Okay, oh, you know, he has a pool cue. He's threatening my life. You know, the same thing from almost every human being. Like, just trying to walk off a fucking airplane, and, you know, next person's just, oh, poor me, look what he did now. And that information instantly goes worldwide. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so this also applies to every girl I try to date, like Sia Nijitang or Tatiana Dobkins, or let's see who else. Skylar. I wasn't really dating Skylar. She was just some sicko seeking me out from Florida. Oh, Lynn Junkin. I wasn't trying to date Lynn Junkin. She just showed up at the all-age parties with the whole hackers, schizophrenia tactics. And then they were working with underage type things because she was 16 and I was like 19 or 20, and she's showing up at a party of people of all ages, you know, 60 and 16 to 60, and everyone's just at a IRC party. But remember, they're taking every single scenario and creating out of context fragmented lies to the world, right? And that's not what's addressed here. Is that's left out, that for everything I do every day, worldwide groups are told, now look at what Kevin did on out of context lies. Okay, doesn't the privacy violations need to be discussed? If I go onto my social network account right now with like 5 people following me and post some lame thing, the world will know it. Doesn't that need to be discussed, why nobody's actually clicking the follow button? Because they're trying to make someone look like a violent, paranoid schizophrenic to lock them away with Charles Sean Dinsey and LAPD and the family, and then steal the money and then pretend that it's about reckless and out of control. And Kevin, you don't know how to deal. Kevin, you can't handle these auto shops. Kevin, you need to control people. Well, yeah, if I try to control people, I'm going to be like them, and really bad things are going to happen. And that time, the police are going to say, Kevin, you're trying to control people. But you can't control people. That's the point. But so when Arnold Silber's like, Kevin, you need to learn to control people, he's trying to push me off a cliff, okay? And why is Arnold Silber obsessed with Arnold Schwarzenegger? And me telling someone I watched his biography on internet-related chat 40 years ago. Well, Kevin, because you watched Arnold Silber's biography, you think you're Arnold Schwarzenegger. Because you watched Arnold Schwarzenegger's biography, you think you're Arnold Schwarzenegger, and now we got to teach you a lesson for what you did. By the way, you're also a schizophrenic. Well, none of these things are making sense. It's just figure out how to execute this person at all costs with worldwide groups and laugh. So chop off someone's arms and legs and laugh, and it's not a crime. Okay, slit their throat and laugh. It's not a crime. All right, so the point is that what is it really about? Well, mechanics just want to make money, so every single one has a worldwide network to interact when Kevin Perlman tries to get someone to fix something, and fix one thing, break the next, and make $100,000 off a $10 fix. And it's just a joke, see? But wait, how do they have the resources, the government resources, to do it? Because whatever LAPD and the police and government, psychology community, my family, with the internet put in place starting in '94 was a kill system for worldwide groups. For every human being I interact with, they have the ability to contact insane numbers all across the world to conspire with. So if I contact one auto shop, they'll instantly, through my text messages or whatever, be able to contact almost every auto shop saying, work together to torture, kill, and steal this guy's money. But it's not about stealing the money because they're making pennies. It's about torturing and killing. And nobody ever questions the kill networks, the privacy violations. If I can text out to someone right now, if I can text the mechanic right now and all the other mechanics get it, well, that's not normal. And these aren't low-level hackers, okay? The SMS for violations are through the phone company, and the phone company is working with NSA-level government operations. And can I prove this? No. I just can trace the information instantly, that if I have a text with someone, it instantly goes to all the other mechanics. And if I talk to family, it instantly goes to everyone else. And no matter how many phones or attempts to beef up Android, even though there's not a lot, it's usually not secured, or it is for a while. And how do you secure an SMS once it leaves the phone? It's going through like AT&T or Verizon or T-Mobile. So once it's out, you can't protect that. If AT&T is involved, then without proof, we all know that the government has backdoors, and the police have backdoors if they want to, or families with lots of money who can manipulate, saying our son's crazy, we want to keep tabs on him. So they contact the police and say our child needs to be watched, just like the Perlman family started with LAPD when I was 5, police monitoring, illegal police monitoring, under the notion of safety, just like NSA is telling you that they were established to stop terrorism, and then they're data mining all of our lives on insane levels and storing it on vaults in Washington, D.C., and using the cover excuse, it's to stop terrorism, when they themselves are the terrorists, by data mining everyone's lives and doing fucked up shit in the name of national security. But they are the chaos, they are the destruction, they are the destruction of your life and your privacy and your sanity and your mental health because of government paranoia. All right, so that's it. So once again, let's vent and relieve a little of a worldwide conspiracy to commit murder. Because you know what? If I am not allowed to interact with people because the government wants me dead with worldwide groups helping, let's be a clown. Because Kevin Perlman's not allowed to have expression or friends or emotion or sex or anything else. So fuck you. So I think that means that people need to come forward. I can't imagine a nation of people who are this fucking stupid that want to shoot themselves in the fucking foot because you're next. And you don't think so, you're an idiot. You're a fucking idiot. If you don't think things aren't going to get worse and my life's going to become all of your lives with, you know, whether it's government, the next set of algorithms for NSA based on AI algorithms and recognition, whether it's facial recognition or body recognition, or being able to change your face, which everyone does every day, and frame you, okay, then you're stupid. You're a fucking idiot. All right. So, and you know, but we live in the U.S. It's the best place in the world. Huh, you fucking think so? It might have been in the 40s during the industrial revolution. I almost said resolution. The the industrial revolution, where capitalism really thrived, and we were really starting to become something, and we had a sane, stable government. Now we just have an ass puppet government of idiots and a planet of people who want the news drama. They actually want to sit at home and they want to watch the news drama and feed into it, and that fills their sad voids, instead of them going out and doing things. See, instead of going out and doing things, they want to watch UFC all day, okay? That's what the news is to them. Or they want to go on Instagram and watch fights, or they want to start fights. That's what these whole Aubrey Fisher troll groups, they want to start fights to hurt people and entertainment value, because they're incapable of going out and focusing on themselves and doing something positive, okay? They're filling this deep, dark, empty void of being a pathetic loser. And that's the point, is that so when they try to reverse everything they're doing onto me, it's a cover-up. Okay, I'm coming out of college. I know it's a worldwide group hunting me to kill me. I'm trying to help people like Aubrey Fisher. Kevin, can you help me with my photography? Sure. And then it's I'm hunting you to kill you with worldwide groups. So like, where did it even come from, right? Okay, but remember that Rody Morales, who was trying to plant a trash bag of LAPD confiscated marijuana with LAPD in my house in 2001, paid off by Ron Perlman and Mike Huntley, my business partner and friend since 14, with Paul Humphrey working at LAPD. These are my friends, okay, since 14. They're trying to plant drugs in my house to frame me for the crime of like going to college and getting a degree or something. Like you think you're better than me, okay, right? Like hey, like clearly I am, because I'm not trying to hunt you and kill you. Okay, so let's fire her up and see if she drips. And that means I think I'm a mechanic and need to be hunted and killed. All right. And so don't go to the dark side. Don't go to the dark side. Because I know all about Count Dooku's, obsessed Count Dooku's, who stalk people with numerology tactics out of hate for 5-year-old Jews. Right, Adam? And Corey Bixby, who wants to be dropped off at Gilmore Street, playing victim and crying wolf in 1988 from Calabasas High.